teams very comfortable in their little booths as well. Come on to the XQF guys. They're looking for a chicken dinner. They're looking for a big win to try and catch themselves up, set themselves on top of the pops, I should say. As we zoom out to all our player cameras for one last time today. Who's your pick?
To take out the game?
Yeah, take out the game. It's a hard one, isn't it?
It's
so
really
many
hard.
teams.
There are so many teams that I could make the argument for. I'm going to go snap decision.
There we go.
I'm going 4 AM.
4 AM, you reckon they're going to get the second one of the day?
For knee-jerk reasons, there's any of like 5 teams I could have gone for and probably justified.
Alright, well, I mean, 4 AM didn't have the hottest showing on the first Miramar of the day, and this plane path is a pretty rude one,
That's
actually.
exclusive. That gets rid of a good half of the map. I mean, having a look at our teams who like to be further down south, that's, well, like half the lobby, really. Mega in particular, they like to loot down at Puerto Pereza. That's where they were last game, then moved up the coast. They've got quite a hike to get there.
Look, I don't think they'll be going there. And if they are, they're going to need to have a few gas tank
surely they will absolutely go somewhere else. They've got to have a secondary loot location they can go to.
As we see the XQF fans.
Club.
I'm going for XQF. If you're going for 4 AM, I think XQF are going to take the last game of the day.
So to clue you in on my internal sort of discussion with myself there. Well, it wasn't really a thought process as much. I did knee-jerk it, but I was tossing up 4 AM, XQF, and then Tempo purely because I want them to get a win. They've had some consistent results, not as good as Cloud9, but they've been up there, and I would like to see them get a win, but
that is a really
we'll see.
Cool
I was just about to say, I'm
very
very distracted by the Batwing suit. That's
and of course, it is the star player Paraboy that has it.
Paraboy and the parachute.
Yeah, well, I'll give you that one. Managed to land on the roof, do a little tuck and roll. And look at that. Our elimination leaders, he sits 1 clear at the moment. There are a bit of a theme amongst those players, I believe.
Yep. Yes, indeed. They are all from our Chinese teams.
Yep, 3 of them.
And in fact, 3 of 4 is 4 AM.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And you know what else is ridiculous?
Yeah.
I reckon this circle might be a bit of a rude one.
Not only is like a third of it water, some of it is physically out of the bounds of the map.
What was even worse, what makes this circle worse is the plane path. The plane path was cutting the northern side of the map, right?
I don't even think the plane path would have touched this circle.
No, it didn't. It didn't at all. Nowhere near it. So this circle is a rude one to end the day. How will our players adapt to it? It looks like Mega in the cars are in a decent spot to go down and get the loot they want. But my word, we are going to see some shenanigans early on here.
So Unique are on your screens here in El Pozo. If you were listening in earlier, we pointed out that this used to be up until apparently very recently, as in 2 days ago, this was C9's loot spot and Unique forced him out. C9 got forced up to Tierra Bronca and Campo Militar, like way up in the northeast. This circle is just about as far from them as it could possibly be. It could go a little bit further west, focus over the prison island a little bit more, but other than that, it's about as far from C9 as it could possibly be. Our winners of the last game, they're going to need to loot and get a move on pretty quickly here. Having a look at Omen as well. They're another one of our teams who does need to pick it up just a bit, going out around the water treatment plant. So clean water guaranteed, but they'll need some guns and some gear as well. And Fnatic are actually going to take a bit of a gamble on the prison island too.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad shout. It should be in for the first few circles. And I mean, looking at how the circle
as well.
Yeah, how the circle is pulling up, I reckon not a bad shout for a Los Leones finish here, which would definitely be one of the ways that I'd like to end my day. People can keep their utility going into that. It can be quite exciting. This is Picardo, and we find Tempo Storm occupying that. Orange have found themselves a little bit of breathing room on that eastern coast as well, up near, well, Al Azahar. I think the Orange are a team that could play spoiler. We saw them get involved in an altercation with 4 AM last game. Didn't have a too bad a result. Team Queso spread out, getting their loot, getting into their work. Team Sol have been one of those teams that had a lot of hype and a lot of fan base behind them, a lot of support coming out of India, and I think they haven't reached. Well, obviously they haven't reached their mark just yet. They've had a pretty poor tournament to start, but they do have the capability and the players to really turn it around. And Would be a good story to see them finish off the day with the top 2, top 3 finish. Of course, Jimmy, the XQF's best snake.
Yeah, he was the saviour of Game 2 for them as they lost 3 players very early, and Jimmy stayed alive all the way to a 3rd place, I believe. Only the 4 frags, but with the 10 placements, that gains them 14. So pretty decent thing to recover when you lose all of your friends very, very early.
Yeah, I think he did a fantastic job.
Absolutely did. Now, Fnatic, by the way, they've sent Scout over onto the Prison Island hanging out. The rest of them are actually going to be edge guarding that bridge and also looting up the town there of Valdemar. So if anyone else goes for the same sort of play that they might attempt, they will be able to lock it out, and they get a bit of extra time to loot there as well. So I like what they're going for. They're certainly a team who does need to pick up some placement points and some kill points as well. So I like to see them changing things up. Tempo are very split right now.
Nico has got himself the basics, the bare necessities, and he is sent it towards the center of the circle. He is the IGL. He'll be scouting out, making sure he can find himself a decent compound for his team, and the rest of the boys are, well, following up now. Getting out of Picardo nice and early is always nice, because around Picardo, there's not much cover to get out of there. Of course, there's the hills to the southeast, but usually you're running into waiting arms if you leave it too late to get out of there. So good move from Tempo Storm, and on board with Nico now as he's trying to find himself a new home.
He's in the Ute, as it's known in Australia.
Yeah, yep. Ute is what it's called in Australia, but I believe in America it's called a truck or a pickup truck or something like that.
Truck. Pickup truck. I don't know. Yeah, it's the worst American accent of all time. Probably.
Yeah, it'd be top 5.
Orange Boys on the move here as well. Heading down the eastern coast towards Impala. Got a whole bunch of privacy to work with. Omen going to be splitting up into the combi. Look.
What's the bet Carnage gets picked out of?
Or Zute gets picked out of this convertible because he's had a real problem with getting picked off solo.
Zuto's been pretty unlucky when it comes to
it's absolutely a luck thing. That's not common in anything else, but yeah.
He's been pretty unlucky when he's been running into the loving arms of other teams. As Seoul are starting to take shots at Team Queso. Team Queso immediately hop out of their vehicles and start to return fire because they are very angry at the moment, Team Queso. They want to chase some eliminations, I believe. They are outgunned at the moment. There is a 2-2 split from both teams, in fact, so the angle comes across and Viper's going to get the first knock. That's onto Marco. Now, they're going to start to use the high ground here, Team Seoul. This is going to be very beneficial as Marco and Ayala might not be sure about this flank coming in. Viper and Regaltos, they're in a very good position. If they can manage to get themselves up onto this higher location, I don't think you can jump up there just yet.
Yeah, not quite from there. I think you have to go up a little bit further over when it's a bit
Aman's
less
been
steep.
answered, though. So it is a 1-for-1 trade. It looks like the Marco has been picked up, and Mortal will try and pick up Aman. Tate was the man to find that knock on the flank, on the rotate. He's poking out wider. This is very, very awkward engagement, in fact. As the other two players from Team Seoul aren't in really a position, because they couldn't get up that high ground, to take advantage of being above Ayala and Marco.
As much as they would like to get themselves some early damage across here, Tate going to cop a few bullets at range there and can't quite find the cover that he needs just yet. Playing some very risky business around the tree. Not sure exactly where he's being shot from and can't figure out where to hide, but has found some cover just in time.
The tree's
Viper
fine.
unable to land the shots, unfortunately, given the time that he had. Needs to be careful as well, as there is other Team Queso members very close by.
I've lost track of this fourth player, Regaltos. I've lost track of him at the moment. I'm not sure where he is, but
he's in a car going on a real big flank.
He is too.
Real big flank.
He's actually gone all the way around. Huh. I'll have to tune into that soon because I think that might be a little bit of action.
Are Seoul making a play to try and remove Team Queso entirely?
I think they might be. They kind of have to. The zone is coming in and they are outside the zone. So that fight's going to kick off eventually. As we are on board with Cloud9, our previous winners. They are on the rotate. 4 AM, another big team sitting up the top. They are looking for a new home themselves. There's plenty of property down this way and it's a decent location. You can see it's overlooking the river that splits the military island or the prison island. But this is back on board. This is the Regaltos flank. He's right behind Tate at the moment. And Dexy, he might be in a prime position here. He has to be patient, and he has to get 2. If he gets traded here, there's no way they're going to be able to pick him up.
Yeah, I mean, even if he only gets 1, as long as he stays alive, that's the big one. If he can just make himself known, put the pressure towards Team Queso and stay alive, that's the big thing. But they may have just found him out there.
I think he spotted Tate. I don't think Tate saw him. Yeah, Tate's not playing like he's spotted him. Regatos definitely spotted Tate. But I don't think he's...
He doesn't want to move too early,
I don't think he's aware that Tate's
his team
back
to be able to help him.
Now he is.
He can't really take this engagement solo.
He goes for the spray. Doesn't manage to connect either, so now the jig is up. Tate knows, and he returns fire onto Regatos. The Molotov comes out, but that's not going to do a lot of damage. Regatos has been picked off. Greedy from Regatos, and that's going to be his demise, leaving Sol with 3 players remaining. The idea wasn't bad. The execution was a little to be left desired. Or left a little to be desired, even. Tempo Storm, they moved very early days and find themselves in a fantastic position on the south. They will be greeted by 4 AM soon. As we see Savano now equaling up the tally, I believe, as Team Queso have all piled in. And now they're getting aggressive onto Sol, knowing that there's only 3 players remaining. Now 2.
Death rolls in.
Yeah, that was the combi of death as Dexy is added to his kill tally. He must be getting up there too. I believe he got 3 or 4 last game. So, oh no, Hikasi now being chased out by Team Unique as well. So these teams are starting to get a lot more aggressive, especially Team Queso and Team Unique. The double nade from Hasaki though, that's going to be an interesting way of starting this fight. Rogue tries to pull up as well, but this car isn't moving very quickly. And now 4 AM are going to pounce all over this. The double nade, they know they can get some easy points here. Old boy gets knocked out as well. And this might be the end. That's the cleanup on that double nade, actually, as Rogue jumps out of the car on a slither of HP. Kitsune in the background.
Not.
He's managed to dodge all those bullets. Kitsune is on full HP, so he will be able to get out of there, you'd imagine, as Hasaki's actually found Rogue from an angle and a half. How on earth has he managed to land that shot uphill?
Mate, if I could tell you, I'd give you something useful. Zone about to move. Most of our teams are now inside it. Synergy out to the east. A couple of Omen's players as well. That is a shift. Still a bunch of water in that circle too as it goes to the south. And all of our teams are going to continue their rotates pretty much. Tempo, XQF, Orange, Mega already inside the zone. 4 AM not too far away, but edge guarding DKG just a bit. Need to be careful with that one. As DKG do come down off the hill as well.
Kitsune is the last man standing. He's going to have to play patient here for sure. Don't think he was spotted actually by that rotation. If he was, then DKG weren't keen to get into the mix. They are outside the circle. DKG is now just moved inside. 4 AM have to join them inside now. Fnatic actually have managed to push themselves over the water into the southern side of the circle. So that's not a bad shout from them. Teams that are looking pretty central will be, of course, XQF. Tempo Storm have a decent position, but it's a little bit to the south for my liking, as we are on board with them now. Finally, the finish does come out onto Rogue, so there will be 1 player from Team Unique left in this game. And it has been the teams that have been struggling, continue to struggle here, as Team Soul are down to 2, Fnatic are down to 3. So unfortunately, they haven't been able to turn around their fortunes just yet.
4 AM already with the 4 kills so far. Once again, off to a pretty hot start here, as they will be able to grab some looting on to the players that they dropped earlier on. Mega are a bit split up, but so far not really under too much pressure.
Ooh, this is Udu versus 4 AM for the 4th game in a row. These two squads are going to find each other. Jumper's managed to just escape, but Manpig's actually hopped out of the vehicle and tried to take Svano out. He's on a slither of HP, manages to land 1 headshot. That might scare him off his line for that second needed to recover. He's got the high ground friend in Jinhee, just waiting for the peak to come out. Udu are in a decent position here, and Svano is actually stuck on that road. The smokes are going to have to come out for sure.
Not a lot of freedom for them to move here without some sort of utility. Saki has gone for the big rotate, the big pin down to try and lock these players down at long range. It is a pretty substantial range for an AR to hit, but certainly doable with the spray. And Udo here I mean, they've got one player separated from the others, but look at this pinch coming in from 4am. They are completely surrounding Yudo here. They really want these kills, and Manpring's going to get sprayed down again.
Oh no, they're very aware of Yudo's positioning, stuck under this bridge now. This is dangerous times if you're a Yudo player, because they are aiming at you, and it's 4am, a team that does not miss too often. Drax on the combi van, trying to go for a run for it. One of the better vehicles, I guess, in that situation is this flat land. Fredo and Jumper joining in on the transit as well.
No way they're getting out of this.
They are quite a while away. Fredo does jump out of his vehicle as it starts to light on fire. He's not keen on that, and he's been spotted though. Surely Svano does. Yep, he's knocked another kill to his tally. And he will regain the kill leader position, I believe, after that one.
If not, he's very, very close. I do like, though, as much as it's ambitious as all heck, the combi going out first draws so much fire before the other two vehicles with players in and make a run for it. It works. I mean, sacrifice one player to get away with three. While it doesn't work out the way they probably planned it, they lose one of the players in the middle, not the big attention-seeking combi. They still get away with 3 players from that, which, all things considered, I thought they were going to die under that bridge. So it's not the worst outcome for them.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was going to be the end of the road. That bridge was going to be where they lie, but no, they managed to escape, live another day, as Team Queso are rotating on the southern coast as well. Looks like everyone's keen to go past 4am at the moment. Not something I'd advise doing. A lot of teams are finding themselves on this beach. Omen, Fnatic, Yudo, all being forced onto this beach, and now Team Queso as well. So could see some fun in the sun down there in a minute. I think the next circle might force them all together a bit.
4am are continuing to pile on the damage here, by the way. They've already taken down one Team Queso player. They know another's in the water. Tate's going to take a bunch of damage. That's another car explosion kill for 4am. They do know that Dexy's out there somewhere in the water. Of course,
with
the X-ray, it's pretty easy for us to see, but much more difficult for Svano. But still, they're keeping an eye on it, and they've actually sent Suck over to do the job.
They're
up
ruthless.
Close and personal. He knows his player has to be out here somewhere. He can see his car in the water. He'll finish the job on that one just in case he was close by. But as you say, Dexy's got to breathe at some point. It looks like he is actually tanking some damage to his health in order to get a bit further away without coming up. But unless he wants to die to this water, he's got to service at some point, and he doesn't have much more time before he can come up.
Tell you what, got a set of lungs on him. Comes up and gets found out immediately. Dexy goes down.
Sacrificed so much health to try that.
I think that's probably the only way you're going to get out of there.
Oh, 100%. It's the only play you can make, but 4am was so aware.
They certainly were. As the last player from Team Queso is hiding out, and I believe he will go down to the zone. I don't think, well, there's much left in it for Team Queso. So they haven't been able to get the ball rolling, get the game going on just yet. Unfortunately for them, their poor struggles or their poor start continues to this tournament.
And it's, I mean, by the end of this game, we're looking at 50% of the games for the tournament all done and dusted. So your poor start is rapidly becoming a setup for a poor finish. For a lot of these teams don't have too many points thus far. Of course, they all still do have a chance to turn it around, but as is always the case in a tournament like this where it's not about, it's not like a lot of other esports which are 1v1 or team v team or whatever. In a big group situation like this, you're just leaving it later and later for you to pull out some massive game or other. How quick is this from Suck, by the way? Oh, there he is, see ya.
Yeah, he was wise to the antics. As soon as he was given the opportunity, he took full advantage of it. 4am on the move. They had to move eventually. They couldn't keep gatekeeping forever, unfortunately for them. They would have loved to, but the zone did move away from them. They might meet another Chinese powerhouse in DKG. Moxon has his eyes peeled out, looking for any sort of movement, and 4am might be the only movement he sees. Mega found themselves smack bang center of the zone in a fantastic position. This next zone was pretty friendly, actually. It just eliminated pretty much all of the water, kept in the eastern side of play, so no team's really going to be shoved out too bad by this. Los Leones has been eliminated from the circle as well, so we're not going to see a city finish to end the day, unfortunately.
No, we're looking at Pretty
lot of
much
hills.
essentially just an open, yeah, like a hilltop finish somewhere potentially. There is a crate dropping right onto FFQ, so that's a bit of a gimme, but they've also got XQF on the other side of the road, Mega not too far away as well, so they don't want to be too keen in charging out into the open to try and loot that one. Synergy, a couple of their players coming up onto this orange compound. They want to be careful as it is only the 2 players here. They're in a little bit of a 2-2, separated by a couple hundred meters. Several hundred meters. 4 a.m., by the way, are looking like they might crash into Yudo again.
Yeah, these two just can't leave each other alone. Looks like Yudu hasn't pulled the trigger at all and just letting them drive past. Fnatic are the next ones. That will be greeted by 4AM's convoy, and they managed to get a knock as Svino's actually jumped out of the vehicle. That's not the way you want to be playing. It looks like 4AM will pull up to try and save their star player at the moment. Fnatic are only 3 strong as Ronak has taken a fall by the wayside. This would be big for the whole tournament if Fnatic can manage to pick up 1 or 2 kills here.
Yeah, if Fnatic can deal with or mostly deal with a team like 4AM, then they're not going to put themselves towards winning the tournament, but they're certainly going to open it up for other teams. As, like we said at the start of this, what we're looking for this game is not so much who wins it, but the difference in placings between our top 3. We're looking at 4AM, we're looking at XQF, and we're looking at Cloud9. Those are the 3 teams that if there's any substantial point differences between them, then that'll be a new leader.
We have 10 kills being collected this game so far, and 8 of them are on 4AM, by the way. So that is an ominous sign, as they had that game 2 win with 23 eliminations, I believe. So
yep, 23, that's correct. 39 points in total.
So that is scary signs if they continue on that form. They have been forced into a lot of engagements early on here, and they've got a few teams around them at the moment that they probably wouldn't be too scared of. Omen and Fnatic haven't had the best results so far in this tournament. 4AM are off to a hot start. This is the last player from Team Queso who's managed to find himself a spot inside the zone for now. I thought he was definitely going to go down there, as SGE are taking big shots from Orange. Synergy haven't had an amazing start either. In fact, all of the Southeast Asian teams have really been struggling on day 1.
They really have. I mean, Synergy, we're looking at 8th in game 1 with 7 points. 8th again, and then 11th, so it's not been too great for them, and they will lose a player here to Orange as well.
Yeah, Austin.
Circle shifts north too.
Austin manages to find one, and that's a good shift for FFQ. They really need a bit of help. The first 2 games, they had some of the longest rotations I've seen in quite a while. This game, they seem to be gifted a little bit. So what comes around, well,
comes back around. Yeah.
Comes back around, yeah. Nice little overview too, actually. Not a bad little property, that. Probably fetch a pretty penny.
Pretty cute little farm. Could belong in Australia, but it's a little bit too hilly. We don't have too much of that here. 1 kill does come out there from Orange onto a player that I couldn't see because his name was in the way.
I think that was Austin getting confirmed from Synergy.
Yeah, they're down to 3 now, so a couple of our teams have lost some players. Looks like we still have about 10 rosters that are full strength. But Tempo and C9, as soon as I say it, both North American players lose 1. And Rain's going to get confirmed for Tempo as well. And guess what? It's Paraboy.
It was Paraboy that actually stole that kill, by the way. It was a knock by FFQ. Rain came up to see if anyone was home in this lovely property that was mentioned before. Turns out FFQ were home, knocked him down, and then Paraboy on the angle managed to claim the point. So that's Paraboy stealing another point away from the team. That's been a common theme of the day as well. He's managed to pinch a few for XQF. Percasas is being knocked out by 4AM. So if you're Cloud9, now you know where 4AM is. Your direct competition. So decisions have to be made whether you want to take the fight or whether you want to avoid them. Looks like they're going to leave Percasas for dead. Unfortunately, yep. That's fine. That's
shame they didn't stick around, actually, because that could have been a pick-up there. But yeah, they will be leaving Percasas to go down, as he's trying to hope that Svano won't spot him. But yeah, duck and weave, but
nice.
I don't think he's going to get away with it somehow.
Good night, sweet prince.
There it is. So Percasas will be falling. C9 will drop a player there, and now Yudu and Fnatic and XQF are all in a very close sort of area.
Ooh.
As XQF are basically going to let these 2 fight and then try and steal whatever kills they can.
Yeah, it looks like Jimmy's got the line onto a waste. I think if that vehicle blows up, he might collect a double there.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll just go for the sprayer.
Coolboy's actually very close as well. Marco, the last player from Team Queso, getting lit up by a jumper from Yudu. Would be sad to see Marco go out in such fashion. But it looks like he doesn't have much shield left either. So Oasis does get finished off. Leaving Fnatic with, I believe, 2. That nade is centimeter perfect. Marco is...
Goodness me. That was...
pretty mad about that one.
That was a dunk.
That
Perfection
certainly
on that
was.
one. So Team K-Star will go out 15th, unfortunately, for them.
It was perfect to a T, as we see a perfect circle almost come out. A little donut to end the day. And FFQ are still in prime position. Cloud9 found themselves inside the circle too. That's the only teams with positions inside at the moment.
4am, though, are coming in on the flank, and they're coming in behind C9. But before they can even get towards C9, they've got to deal with Orange, who are pushing them. And again, C9 are praying for Orange in this fight. They're thoroughly on their side at this point, hoping that they can help them clean up 4am. Because if 4am go out here in 14th place, that's either C9 or XQF pretty much guaranteed into the lead, depending on how well the teams in 4th and 5th.
Now, we saw Orange get a knock last game and start pushing aggressively, and they're doing the same once more. It is a 2-for-2 trade, I believe. 4am are going to be very confident as they start to crest the ridge line. It is 4am with the advantage in this fight. It's down to a 1v1. Pop doesn't know where the player is, though. He does get the advantage in this fight. He drops to the ground, but it's not going to be enough. And 4am, they will be able to retain all 4 players and eliminate Orange. Guess how many eliminations they're up to now, Tim?
Approximately too many.
Too many is definitely the
13.
answer. They're up to 13 elimination points already for 4am, and there are 35 in the lobby. And we lost a Unique and Fnatic, so the circle is starting to close in, and teams are starting to get pushed together. Omen and Tempo are so close to each other as Wi-Fi is being knocked out. Carnage has a nade on the way, but it's not going to collect him. Sixless and Carnage playing very, very patiently at the moment, as looks like Omen have lost Zute, and Tempo gatekeeping their North American brethren at the moment. As Jimmy's actually been popping off, and that's going to be Yudu knocked out. Tucker's managed to claim a knock onto one of the 4am players as well, so all of the top teams are getting involved. Cloud9 at the moment, they'll be rubbing their hands together, watching this all unfold. XQF sitting with 5 points. 4am with 13.
13, and we've barely even done anything yet. Like, we're at 10 teams and 34 players, so we've still got
over half
two-thirds of the team and over two-thirds of the teams and over half the field still alive in terms of individual players. And 4am are already chilling out here with 13 elims, so living the dream. If they can continue this, then it's looking to be another very high kill chicken win for them. But it's not all said and done just yet. There's a lot of teams standing between them and that victory. So a lot of work still to be done for the 4am guys. They've certainly started off the right way as the circle is just about to move. Let's have a look where it's going. Ooh. Just below dead center, and it centers up on FFQ once again.
This is going to force 4am and Cloud9 together. Unless 4am have done the research, done the reconnaissance, and have found where Cloud9 are, they just might have. But this might force them together, and that surely 4am can't win these fights back to back to back all the time. Surely they're running out of meds, the armor, the nades.
Don't you do this to them.
They have to at some point. They're not invincible.
You don't do it, Ben. Just don't. You know how this works. You're a caster. You understand caster's curse. You'll make them do it. XQF, though, are here still with 4 players as well, and they have been looking sharp so far, so they're certainly still a force to be reckoned with here.
They have some of the remnants of Omen hanging around, I think. Tempo as well in the neighborhood. Down on that southern side of the circle, you can hear the shots on the nades right now, and it looks like Tempo are getting aggressed upon already.
Omen are actually making the play here to try and catch out their North American brethren. Chica's going to take a lot of damage. Nico's in the open there as well, and Carnage does need to get inside, free from the zone, and just about avoids that last Tempo player. Sixless, as you can see there, is over the far side as well, maneuvering his way in. Could go for a bit of a backstab, but he's still a little way off. They've got to buy some time for him. In the meantime, we say goodbye to Team Soul.
Yeah, we might be saying goodbye to Omen. It is Sixless in the dirt with an Uzi. That's not where you want to be. Carnage does get taken out by XQF. Paraboy cleans that kill up, adding to his tally. More and more kills for Paraboy. Tempo now starting to push up towards XQF. Only 3 strong though. They're in a dangerous position. It can be quite difficult to throw these nades downhill as mentioned, but if you can time it just right, it's pretty impossible to run away from. That one might be a little too hot.
Just a little too deep, unfortunately, but still good work being done here by XQF as they've already got themselves 6 frags. Omen go out.
Oh, order!
Jeez.
He's pushed up and claimed 2.
He's cleaning
Nico.
up tempo single-handedly.
Nico, the last man alive, and he's hungry for these finishes, is order. Nico with all of the work to do now. The hope of staying in the top 5 at the end of the day really is resting on his shoulders at the moment. Chica gets taken out, finished off by order. Taka from FFQ is being aggressed upon by 4AM. They managed to avoid Cloud9. They've run into FFQ. Nico gets taken out. That's Tempo Storm out in 8. Wow, this fight is very close quarters combat.
If anyone can beat 4AM, it's a victory for the likes of C9 and XQF, but of course, all of those teams still with multiple players up. 3 up for Cloud9, 4AM 3 and 1 knocks. They can get back to full strength, and SQF chilling out. 4 players, 8 frags thus far, all sitting in this house on your screen. FFQ above them on the hill. Synergy pinning them down as well. So once again, a bit of an awkward multiple angle fight, 3-way fight. Mega, though, are coming out the worst of this one as Paraboy.
Getting lit up.
Sitting in front of a car that's not even blown up, doesn't care.
No, he does think he's invincible, does Paraboy, but 4AM are actually in a really rough position at the moment as they have Cloud9 below them. Mega coming up from the south, Synergy coming up from the north, and in their way is FFQ. One of the players from FFQ is knocked out by another nade. And another nade comes through, getting another knock for 4AM. Their nade usage today has been absolutely perfect. Hisaki's got 5 eliminations for the match, as you saw just there. Svanu knows where Cloud9 is. Beowulf trying to hide behind that vehicle. The eliminations do come through. The Chinese teams have eliminated Mega in a combined effort and are now turning their attention to Synergy. How are 4AM still 4 strong? They've eliminated Synergy. They're up to 21 eliminations in this game alone.
And there's still 5 teams left. What the hell is this?
There's 13 players alive that they can claim still. Order from XQF has found Zinhi, and he's found his head too. That's going to be an easy knock, but Hasaki is behind that wall. He can find the nade. Maybe. No, not quite. As FFQ claim a double nade. Order spraying around the corner. Isn't going to be able to get the knock. He's running out of ammo. 3 left. Mini does come out, but it's not enough. Another knock, but Paraboy is coming through for the cleanup, and he is going to find the player for him. Hisaki is done and dusted, finished. Zinhi bleeding out around the corner. He's been knocked a few times too, so that's not going to last too long. Svano.
Dude,
the key. Look at this! Another nade onto Paraboy. Yes, he knocks. Well, they knocked out their player, but they're not going to get that revive anyway. The XQF 4AM fight continues, and my lord, surely that is 4AM going out. 23 kills to their name in the game, though.
And look at this, it's like it's been our top 4 for the last couple of fights, now the last couple of circles, I should say. It's now Cloud9 and XQF 3, and DKG I should say, 3 and 1 for XQF. So this is some of our top teams still left in it. XQF and the 1 player left, and he'll surely be found. Cool Boy will bow out, so now C9 are in with a chance for their second chicken dinner, but they're all going to pile in the 1 car, and that's with them all done!
Crazy gets the double. Pyro is the last man standing, and what a turn of events. It's DKG to clean up the scraps. Pyro now on the run. He needs to move more central, but it is controlled by DKG. They have the higher ground. It's over, Pyro. It would have been really good if that nade killed him there, actually, but it didn't. So I've been left on a bit of a cliffhanger. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, you really had that all set up, and then nope, sorry.
No,
sorry, bud.
It didn't bounce over the hay bales, but that's all right. DKG, 3-man strong. They know exactly where he is too. It's only a matter of time. Pyro needs to get these 1v1s. That nade's going to land in his pocket, and that's going to seal the game. It will be DKG to claim the 4th game of the day, leaving all Chinese teams to pick up 1 for the day.
So just like the scrims yesterday, we saw all the Chinese teams get a win each, and then 1 team from another region grab a win, and Tempo Storm in 5th. And I think that's pretty much how we're going to end up here. It's C9 instead of Mega who grabbed the non-Chinese win, but all 3 Chinese teams have played very well. C9, I think, I mean,
they've been my team of the day.
If 4AM hadn't got 23 frags there, without winning, then C9 might have just put themselves into first place. But I think with the sheer amount of well, not even think. I know that with the sheer amount of points that 4AM got, they are going to stay on top. C9, though, I would say, with the team of the day, top 3 all 4 games. Now, I think 4AM had one game that wasn't so great, and the others were all bangers.
The
very first game they came 9th.
The third
1,
game
2. Third game they came 6th, and then that game they came 3rd, but with a billion kills. So, what are you going to do?
Well, when they go big, they certainly go big, as they managed to claim 23 kills. I believe that's the second time they've done that.
Yes,
well.
that is double 23s for them. The other time was in their victory in game 2.
That is some incredible numbers put up by 4AM today. XQF have been ever so consistent, claiming themselves a lot of points as well. Excellent play out from them. Cloud9 really hanging it with the big boys, though.
Just as I've said that, I realized I can't do maths. They got 21 kills, not 23. Because you get 10 points per second. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, sorry. 10 points for 3rd place, and they get 31 total. I can do maths. Very, very good.
Very, very good. Well, what a day we've had in the PEC, the first one, and we've seen teams tone up, and we've seen some big plays as well. And the utility usage out of these players is out of this world.
Yeah, it's been ridiculous how many nades. I mean, it's mostly just been a lot of HE nade damage. We've seen a lot of decent smoke usage, Molotovs very sparingly, but so many HE knocks, particularly from our Chinese teams and the N8 teams as well, have been getting amongst it. But 4AM, their nade usage is nuts.
It's out of this world. They're using nades in ways that I thought impossible.
Or couldn't.
Well, as well as the timings as well. They're keeping them for all these right fights. I mean, you see the end fight there. The final 4 teams all going out in one compound, and they still have pockets and pockets full of nades. I don't know where they're storing them. I don't want to know at this point, but it's
They've just
crazy.
got, like, the biggest nade belt you've ever seen.
Yeah, the utility belt for these blokes is out of this world. But again, they've been putting up amazing performances, and that top 4 are really starting to pull away from the rest of the competition there. With DKG claiming that last victory, I think they'll be moving up into 4th place.
So, I mean, obviously we'll see the leaderboard in a little bit. We've got to confirm all of this, but 4AM with 31 points in that game should now have bought themselves a bit of space into first place. But Cloud9 with 4 top 3s in a row, as well as one of those being a win, they're going to be right on their tails in, probably 3rd, I'd say
Cloud9 will still retain 3rd,
I'll have to see how it goes. And then XQF getting themselves 23 there. So C9 would have got, I wrote it down, where is it? 14 points in total. So it should be like 10-ish points between 4AM and XQF, and then somewhere like that for C9. But it's going to be real close, I think, in the top 5. And the gap now between the top 5 and the bottom 10, I think, is going to really start to spread apart in this next scoreboard update.
I think that's definitely going to start to open up a lot. And it's going to be those bottom 10 teams starting to fight each other for that increased prizing. I think the top 5 are well and truly pulling away, with Tempo Storm and DKG really the 4th and 5th place teams. Tempo Storm might be dropping off a little bit, but I think they're still within shouting distance. If they are in that 5th position, it's still within a shout going into day number 2. As we see the highlights being pulled out now, Jimmy had some nasty knocks coming through, but this is the final fight. And you see these players going at it. It is Moxon pushing around. This was finishing off Cool Boy.
Yeah.
This is the car explosion.
Yeah, like, I mean, I love this from C9 in terms of the concept. Like, if they could have pulled off that car rotate, then they get multiple players into a completely different position on the battlefield that DKG may not have been ready for, that could have allowed them to potentially surprise them, maybe win that fight. But as it is, that's always the risk when you get into a car in like a squad v squad, 1v1 type situation, is that you can get sprayed down and lose multiple players, and it backfires with C9 this time. Nonetheless, they've got, what, 1/3, 2 seconds and a first, I think, so they're going to be very happy with their day, as are the guys on 4AM, despite not getting a win that game, getting 21 eliminations out of it.
It's crazy.
I mean, do you really care about the 6 additional placement points at that point? I don't think so.
Oh, I think you're pretty happy with what you've got. But
especially because tiebreakers are decided kill point first, like living the dream.
I do feel for Cloud9 though. Going into the later stages of that game, the last circle that they did play in, they were forced into the position of going underneath 4AM essentially, because the ground, the terrain that they were greeted with wasn't very friendly. You saw Beowulf hiding, cowering under a truck almost, because he was getting shot at above by 4AM. Thankfully for Cloud9, the fight broke out on the high ground, which distracted things a little bit away, took the pressure away, and they managed to sneak into second, but they weren't able to get the huge fights and the huge kill points they would have liked. Still second place is a lot of points, but I think that if they want to challenge the top 2 tomorrow, they're going to need to start upping the kill game in the middle to late game sections.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's obviously a lot of teams that we would like to see doing doing better tomorrow, I think we should say.
Yeah.
But I think the interesting thing tomorrow for me now is going to be, obviously, we've got our top 5. I'm not going to say set in stone because things can change, but not only are our top 5 going to be, in terms of the points, leaps and bounds ahead, but they've all been very consistent. 4AM have had 2 quieter games, but they've had 1 win and 2 massive, massive kill games, a 23 and a 21. C9 have been top 3 all day. XQF have been top 5 all day. I'm pretty sure they've been up there every single time. DKG with that win will secure themselves some solid points as well. So it's not just one really big win that's carrying our top teams right now. It's consistent results across all of the games. So I think the thing that'll be fun for me is seeing if any of the teams lower down will start, I mean, not really putting their tournament lives on the line because there's not too much they can really do at this point to catch up, but if they'll just say, all right, this game, we tank our normal strategy and we hot drop insert team.
Yeah,
Whoever.
I think that could be some fun things to see tomorrow if some of the teams start to adapt that way. By the way, how unlucky are you if you're Cloud9, right? If you show up to a tournament and I say to you, congratulations, first 4 games, halfway through the tournament, you'd place top 3 in all of them, you'd be like, I'll take that. That would be first place for me. Thank you very much. But they've shown up to this tournament and XQF and 4AM have blown everyone out the water. And now they're sitting in 3rd after finishing top 3 in every game. That's ridiculous.
The thing that just hurts my brain is 4AM getting 21 kills on a game they don't win. That's the thing for me that's just nuts. All right, so we're looking at a spread from 5 to 26th for 15 to 6th place. So that's what, 21 points.
That's very doable for any team in that.
That's doable for any team. But the really big one, I mean, no real massive changes there, by the way, just to mention Synergy moves up a little bit, you know, still a pretty small one, but here is the big one. 26 points, 38 in 5th, 66th for 4th, 67 3rd, 76 84. So DKG actually do just sneak past C9 by 1 point. But, I mean, this is very similar to what we saw in the scrims, is that there was one team up around the 80-point mark. I think the team after 4 scrims who were up in first might even have had exactly 84. No, it was 82, never mind. So 4AM have actually outperformed XQF's performance in scrims. But, like, being that high up is just nuts. And then Tempo Storm, I mean, barely holding on without a chicken dinner. They're still doing, without a win even. They're still doing pretty well to be this high up in the standings. But the top 4 are doing so well. I mean, look at these average ranks. For C9, average rank of 2. And then for 4AM, sure, their average rank is lower, but look at the average elims.
It's the best in the tournament for Cloud9, and they're sitting in 4th position. Oh, I feel for them. I really do, but 4AM, they are nuts, and this bloke has been the one to lead it all, really.
How's this? An MVP not from the winning team?
It's crazy to think about. He's been on fire all day. He got I think it was a 13-kill game or something by himself, and now he's eliminated. Look at this. He's got 20 eliminations for the tournament so far.
17 for Paraboy. And Paraboy, it's worth noting, more damage.
Look, 4 of the top 5 are 4AM.
Like the entirety of 4AM.
The entirety of the team's on the first
The thing that amazes me, though, look at for Paraboy, he's actually done more damage than either of the top 2. And while that's, I mean, he's not getting all of the elims, he's getting a lot of them. That just speaks to the amount of knocks and damage he's putting out. Like his first game was what, 8 elims and 14 knocks or something? Yeah. So he's doing big damage. But the big one for me is that the entirety of 4AM is in the 5. Like the top 5 kill leaders, 4 of them are just all of 4AM.
Yeah, I think the lowest is 11 or something. And if you're last player, if you're, you know, your least performing player is still averaging over 2 kills a game, you're pretty happy. He's almost averaging 3 kills a game. That's really, really good stuff from 4AM.
You're absolutely living the dream. Either way, that's going to do it for day 1 of PEC. We're halfway through. We've got 4 more games tomorrow to decide who's going to walk away with the lion's share of the 3 million yuan prize pool. But before all of that, we've got some more content for you. We've got an interview. We're going to go back to the arena and look at all of that, and we will see you again tomorrow.